Ladies and gentlemen, we argue
to disagree,
but to come to an understanding
we debate.
on the Great Debaters Contest.
Kenya's #1 debate platform. I am your host, Chris Boru.
And I am Esperanza Kapanga. The motion on the table today is the government should prioritize free and quality healthcare over free education.
While proposing this motion, we have Baricho High School,
And opposing this motion, we have Kiriaini Girls High School.
who will have the better sentiments.
Let's wait and see.
Proposal #1, you have 3 minutes.
The best legacy that any country can bequeath its citizens with is free and quality healthcare. This was said by one famous African philosopher, Nathan Leo, from the renowned Baricho boys, here to strongly propose the motion the government should prioritize free and quality healthcare over free education. First, I will define the terms by the use of my Oxford Dictionary, 9th edition. Free means anything that is offered without cost. Quality is the degree of a man-made feature or system which is free from bugs and flaws, as opposed to the scope of quantity of the items. Prioritize is the giving residence of that which is more important. Healthcare is the provision of medical services for free, as the topic says. Healthcare is more important, as said by the debate organization. When we look back and take steps back universally, we can see our basic needs. As Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of need indicates, food, water, and shelter. I would advise that Kenyan and African countries should give health a chance and first leave education alone. For the developed countries, they can continue with education since their medics and healthcare are already advanced. My points on how and why are: the healthcare impacts, yes, it impacts all ages, unlike education, which is meant for a certain age or a certain bracket. As said by the Health Statistics Report, 56 or 55.6% of the population is affected by education. My rhetorical question that you will monologue at your own time is, where is our 44.4% going to? We need to know. That is why healthcare is there. It is for ages 0 to infinity. It is there to help us. We have Uhuru's Big Four agents. These are things he proposed before he got into work. Firstly, food variety. Second, affordable housing. Thirdly, manufacturing. And as you all know, affordable healthcare. The question is, again, why is there no education? It has been realized that education is now voluntarily. The parent can pay or not pay whether they want to. 2 questions have stabbed me in the back. If a child is sick with asthma, he or she will not participate in school. Then what will they do? Secondly, if a child is exposed to trauma, for example, if he or she witnessed also a shooting on their block, he or she will not concentrate in class, making it not good. I have a dream. One day I will be the president and I will make health free. And I hope that my opponents will gain from it. Ladies and gentlemen, I was glad to meet your acquaintance.
First proposer, you have 3 minutes to make your case.
It's amazing how most of us will want to have healthy and dumb children. So we require quality education too. We have education in our country. So I am here, Yvonne Monene, strongly opposing this motion that says the government should prioritize free and quality healthcare over free education. Why are most of us here today? Even as we say, most of the people who are successful in life today dropped out of school. Actually, at least they started school. And what they're doing right now, it is because of the skills they learned before they dropped out of school. We require quality education because it, unlike the health sector, is not really participating in national building. What do I mean? Healthcare only prioritizes three people. That is the patient, the doctors, and the nurses. So if we look at education, education looks at the perspective of everyone in the community, the common mwananchi. So if I am to be asked, I would say giving free education is better than giving free and quality healthcare. By the way, in my business, I learned that quality healthcare is only afforded by developed countries. But why are these countries developed? They are developed because they had education. We cannot say education is not the basics of the medicine we are really fighting for. Education is the basic of everything that we are doing. So, Amina Mohammed visited Mwiki Public School, primary public school. And you know what she realized? The school is congested. A class having to 100 to 150 students. In some schools, not only in Mwiki primary schools, do not even have classes. And yet, we expect us as a country to develop. Teachers have to join classes. Do you even wonder how they are able to differentiate what level of content they're going to give to each child? We are supposed, as Kenyans, as Africa, to embrace education because it's the only thing that will pull out of our naivety. We should embrace education. Education is the key. God himself says in his word, "My people shall die out of lack of knowledge." Knowledge where we acquire from education. Knowledge is the key to what we are going to be doing in the future. All this quality education, quality healthcare we are asking for is developed by people who have gone to school and learned the skills to manipulate what we have in the society to come up with developed healthcare, developed machines that are going to help us in our healthcare. So even the manpower counts, manpower which we get from education. I'm not only speaking about education in high school or primary school. I'm also speaking about education in university because it's also education. We should stand up for education. Education is just, I can't even say it anymore. It's just the key of what we need. If we do not have education, most of us won't be here. So let us think about the healthy and the dumb child and make betterment on the healthy child, on the child who is educated.
Second proposer, you have 3 minutes for cross-examination.
You know, sometimes as a debater, you'll have to maybe laugh or critique or do anything, basing that on the points being delivered by your opponents. You're saying health is limited to patients, doctors, and nurses, so even doctors and nurses cannot be patients, yes? We have a special group of people in the society called patients. Emphasize that. Michael Mumanyi from Baricho Boys High School, here emphatically proposing the motion that states the government should prioritize free and quality health care over free education. You've said that knowledge is the key to everything in life. Then if knowledge is the key, then health is the manufacturer, because we require health for us to manufacture the same key to education. We say GDC for SDGs. My dear opponents, I want you to ask yourself why health comes first before education in the SDGs. It's number 3, and that is number 4. On to my first point. The foundation of any prosperous nation is good health care. We all know productivity comes from strength. It comes from you as an individual, and you require health for you to be productive. For a nation to prosper, we require people who are productive. And for people to be productive, we require good health care. On to my second point. Better health makes learning easier. Of course, better health care is the basis. It is the foundation from which education is built on. Without healthcare, you don't have people to give education. Also, you don't have people to educate or even get education from. My fellow audience, education or health, which is important? It's not about the ability to retain the contents that we learn in class. It's not about the ability to master the solve process. It is the ability to stay in that class fit enough to learn the solve process. It is the choice of the student to decide what to learn, to decide whether to go to school. But it is not their choice to decide whether to fall sick or not. And that is why healthcare should always come first before education. The cost of quality healthcare is higher than the cost of education. As such, or as research conducted by Afya Smile Kenya, source afyasmilekenya.co.ke, shows that chemotherapy, which is done for people suffering from cancer, costs between 10,000 and 85,000 Kenya shillings at Kenyatta National Hospital for one session, and one is supposed to go for 6 to 8 sessions. Radiotherapy costs around 500 bob, which is enough to pay our own school fees. So are we studying to get jobs so that we can pay our own medical bills? Ask yourself that.
Second proposer, you have 3 minutes for re-examination.
You know, as I was seated back there, I asked myself one question. What was the famous Sauti Sol group thinking when they composed the song, Soma, Soma, Soma? And I guess I have the answer. Education. Education. Now, if you want to call my name, Salithaya Kiriaini Girls High School. You know, someone has said here that he wants to be a president. He has a dream of being a president. Well, let's see how you do that. Let's see how you do it with that low quality education. Let's see how you do it without any teacher to teach you. Let's see how you do it without any school. We require quality education over healthcare. Because for one, let's take an example of the famous KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. They buy a chicken from the common mwananchi, us as Kenyans, from the common mwananchi, one chicken costing at approximately 600 shillings. They go, prepare the chicken, and they bring it as what we love. For a 2-piecer, it's about 400. For a 1-piecer, let's make it 250. Therefore, making 2,000 per chicken, 2,000 shillings. A profit of 1,400 shillings per chicken. Now, if we had that quality education, as Kenyans, that naivety would be completely eradicated. If we really thought and sat down and thought as Kenyans, these people are taking advantage of us just because we don't have quality education. A question, do you know the reason as to why the government is bringing in expatriates? Because they don't trust in your competence. They think you're too dumb to run the country. They think you cannot build your roads for them. And we have to stop this naivety. We have to have self-dignity. You know, I might be small, but I'm pretty sure I make sense than you all.
The proposers have been asked, are they aware that for healthcare providers to actually be able to provide good healthcare and healthcare services, they actually need to be educated? The opposers, on the other hand, have been asked, do they realize that both teachers and students need to be in good health for them to be in school? Proposer number 3, you have 3 minutes to answer the question.
Now, it has been said on this platform that my people perish for lack of knowledge. And I wish not to offend religion, but I ask you a question. How many people in hospitals have been diagnosed for lack of knowledge? And how many people have been diagnosed with malaria? Do the math. They say that a healthy nation is a working nation. And I am Stephen Mutiso from the great Baricho High School, here to propose the motion that the government should prioritize quality and free healthcare over free education. And allow me to first respond to the question asked. Don't health practitioners need education? And I answer you with these words. If you equip yourself with a dictionary, you learn that the word prioritize means to put something above the other, to give something importance above the other, not to neglect the other. As much as we are prioritizing health, education will not be neglected. Believe it or not, health is more essential than education. As it has been said in the SDGs, health comes before education. Now take this scenario. Our teachers went on strike. Medical practitioners also went on strike. When teachers went on strike, there was a loss in syllabus coverage. When doctors went on strike, there was a loss in lives. When the issues were resolved, both parties went back to work. When teachers went to class, the syllabus was recovered. But let me ask you a question. What of those lives? What of those more than 300 people who died in January, according to the Daily Nation issue of the 21st January 2018? What of the 300 families which remain devastated? My second point, free and quality healthcare translates directly into stronger economic growth. What is the government there for? To push economic growth. Now, quality healthcare impacts the labor resource of any country. Now, the labor resource of any country also impacts the production of the country. If our workers fall ill and they do not receive quality health services, who will work in our factories? What kind of impact will it have on our economy? I remind you that in Kenyatta Hospital lie the literate and the illiterate, professors and farmers, the mkokoteni driver and your lecturer.
Proposer, you have 3 minutes to respond.
Maureen Ngugi Wairimu from the Kiriaini Girls High School to respond to the question asked, if not for healthcare, will you be in school? But my question is, if the doctor who immunized you at birth will not have gone through education, will you be in school? In our community, we have people of different social status. There are some who are rich, some are poor, and some are at the middle. These poor people have ambitions. They have ambitions to become that great doctor, to become that great pilot. But you want to tell me that one day they just sleep, and then the next day when they wake up, they say, wow, I'm a doctor. No, they have to go through this education system so that they can reach this higher place that they want to be. We say that education or learning is a progress. So from this we get that we need to improve our education in the community so that all the doctors, we say that first, we say that we need good health, or quality and free health. But the main question is, if we need this quality health and free health, who is going to give us if we don't have this education? First, we have to offer education to our doctors, to these specialized people, so that we can specialize them, so that at the end, we are going to get this free and quality health care. There is one wise man said that to bring down a mountain, you have to have a good shovel. Here, we have a mountain. The mountain is this lack of good health. But do you have the good shovel? How do you get to wake up this early morning and then you say that, yes, today I'm a doctor, so I have to go to this hospital and start treating people? No, we first have to make sure that our shovel, which is these doctors who are going to be treating the people in the hospitals, are well specialized through education, this free education, because you've said that free education might be given to the people who don't have that money to take them to the schools which we can pay. So kindly, our proposers, I urge you to cross the bridge and support us in saying that free and quality healthcare should not be prioritized over free education. I rest my case.
Proposition, you have 1 minute to wrap up your case.
You all here gonna be mothers someday, I believe, God willing. How many expectant mothers die every day while giving birth at homes because they cannot access medical care? They cannot afford fees at the hospitals. And these children who die purportedly are to benefit from free education. Ask yourself that question. And here we are talking about prioritizing. My fellow opponents, it's priority. It's not neglecting. We all need education, but first we need health. Let free health come first. We can pay for our own education. Even the doctors get sick, don't they? Let me tell you, even businesses are scrapping away insurance covers simply because they cannot afford health care. And you are the same people who will be educated, benefits of free education, become employers of such institutions, and yet still want to benefit from health care. Think about that.
Opposition, you have 1 minute to wrap up your case.
Well, we all want to be mothers one day, that's true. And yes, mothers are dying nowadays, that's true. But the question is, in the tradition African society, our grandmothers dying? No. And they gave birth at homes. Do you know why they are dying? Because the level of skilled manpower in the hospital is null. No education, welcome poverty. Welcome to poverty, no health care. Now, let's reason and make sense. Let's quite reason and make sense. You have to watch your steps. You might be thinking you're standing. Very well, you're standing, you're healthy. But be careful, because you might be standing, but sinking.
Baricho boys, Nathan, I think you are quite strategically placed as a first speaker because you really appealed to not just me, I believe to everybody else with your fluent and confident nature. That was excellent, and keep it up. Michael, I remember you from last year, still strong, a strong speaker, a strong debater, and quite emphatic in defending your points, and quite good ending. I think I like that quite a lot, Stephen. You are also calm and calculated. A good compliment to Michael, who is a bit combative, and I think pairing the two of you was quite good.
Yvonne, well, I think you brought in a very good angle on the perspective for all, that education captures everybody, because we have some healthy people around, but everybody needs an education. Sally, good cross-examination. I think you are good at that, and I think that was commendable. You gave a very good example, and I think you, in fact, all your examples were well thought through. I just singled out the KFC one, and I think if you now mention about education, you should have gone ahead and say education on entrepreneurship, maybe. That would have been better, because now that's the basic, bigger angle of that. Maureen, I think you're quite smart, because you answered that question with a question in a way to not have a hard time there, which was well good and good submission. So for us, I think you did well as a team.
Baricho and Kiriaini, you have really captured our attention. And it's amazing that every single year we get to get some surprises, which you have actually pulled. When you first took to the stage, probably we did not expect what you have been able to give out. I tried to look for flaws, I could not. So we were all very, very good. The fluency, we were eloquent. Maureen, the symbolism, the shovel and all. But you, a little bit, had some fillers that you were using, some hesitations. Otherwise, all of us, we did very, very good. And thank you for that.
Kiriaini Girls High School. The judges awarded you 72.8%. Let's give them a round of applause. Baricho Boys High School. The judges saw it fit to award you. Esperanza, will you do us the honor?
74.4%. Let's appreciate both teams for a job well done. Congratulations to both teams. We have had an amazing debate today, thanks to your level of research and good presentation.
This could not be possible if it wasn't for our sponsors, Blazed by Safaricom, Brown Kenya Board, for making sure that we cross across every part of the country to reach each and every high school with debate.
We would also like to ask our viewers, keep the conversation going on all our social media platforms, #GDC for SDGs. I have been your host, Esperanza Kapanga.
And I am Chris Buru. Until next time, stay tuned.